All right, look, I'm sitting here watching the press event, the Kovalev Andre Ward press event, and I had no intentions of making a video or even really talking about it, but honestly I was quite shocked by what I heard out of Virgil Hunter. And even Andre, well, with Andre Ward, you had just, the typical arrogance and, everything that we have come to expect from Andre Ward. But Virgil Hunter, I mean, really crossing the line here, really going overboard, and he seemed like, I don't know, man, like he's on something, like he was just talking real slow, he just seemed like, I mean, it was a very, like, slow, just subdued Virgil Hunter, like he just seemed out of it. But anyway, okay, look, according to him, if you scored the fight for Kovalev, then basically, you don't know shit about boxing and you need to leave it to, the competent judges, because the judges are trained to score a fight and that's what they get paid to do. And whatever they come up with, you just need to accept it and move on with your life. I mean, basically, that's what he was trying to say here. Making all kinds of racist remarks towards Kovalev and the Russian people and I guess white people in general. I mean, as a white man, I'm really offended by his remarks, okay? And I also didn't like, this kind of boisterous, intimidating, I don't know, like tone that he had towards Kathy Duva. It almost reminded me of like how an abusive husband would talk down to his wife, in this very, male dominant, mannerism. I didn't like it. I mean, I didn't like the whole vibe I was getting off of Virgil Hunter, and I damn sure didn't like the comments. So like I said, I felt obligated to make a video about it to kind of get this out there and try to just at least give my opinion. I mean, like I said, I'm really upset and bothered by his whole, just everything this man said. It was just pure ignorance and hateful and racial and just demeaning towards you, the boxing fan. And look, here's the thing that people like Virgil Hunter, what they need to understand. People like me and people like you that take the time to come to YouTube and watch videos. We are the backbone of boxing. We support boxing. Without us, there is no boxing. You have to have fans and reporters and, debates and arguing. All that's got to take place in order for there to be boxing, okay? And without that, Virgil Hunter would not live in his big mansion and drive his big fancy cars and all of that. So he needs to, I think he really needs to respect you, the boxing fan, because like I said, he basically just said, if you, the fan, like, nothing about boxing and, you just need to trust whatever the judges say. So let me kind of just get into what was said, okay? And I'm not really all that prepared because like I said, I had no intention on making a video, but here we go. Okay, he started out talking about, Kovalev is all over social media, talking about ending people's careers, and then he went on to mock the fans, how, they're supporting a Russian fighter, not the American fighter, and basically shame on you, although this is a global sport and this is not a dictatorship, and you don't get support just because you're an American. That's not how it works in boxing. Basically saying that Kovalev went on to say that Andre Ward was given a gift decision, and Kovalev apparently insulted God Almighty. I mean, what? Like, what is this dude talking about, right? Okay, saying Kovalev said, I'm gonna knock you out, and he said there was a lot of doubt and anger in Kovalev, and then he went on to say, and this is where it got kind of nasty when he started talking about John David Jackson. Now, we all know that is Kovalev's boxing coach, okay, John David Jackson. And basically, he's knocked him, or he's criticized him before for, doing this exact same thing. He said, well, he's not here. Where is he at? And if you remember in the original fight, Virgil Hunter said the same thing. He's like, where's your coach? He's not here. But, you know, he doesn't understand. He's got other fighters, and he's training them. And basically, Kathy Duba said, well, hey, you know, we were in New York yesterday, and you weren't there. You know, so now we're in, I think they're in Oakland today, I believe. I'm pretty sure they're in California today. And but Kathy Duba, she kind of like tapped in on the mic and said, you know, excuse me, you know, we were in New York and you were nowhere to be found, you know, and Jackson was there. So today we're in Oakland, and, you know, Kovalev and the team, we all wanted Jackson to go train his fighter because he's got an upcoming fight coming up. So, you know, he's like, so it's really none of your business. And then, like I said, you know, and you can see right here, you know, he's kind of hunched down in this kind of intimidating, you know, like melodical voice, you know, he's talking. And then Kathy Duba's over here, like with her head down, like she's like some battered woman. I mean, this piece of shit really pissed me off. Like, I did not like his attitude, his demeanor, his tone. Didn't like none of it. You know, it was, like I said, it was very, you know, dominant and disrespectful to everybody in the room. And he was just on such, you know, this high horse, like, you know, like he is just, you know, just something special. And I just didn't like it. So then he went on to threaten John David Jackson. He said, you know, we are going to basically said we're going to reveal something later on down the road, you know, about Jackson. Basically, they're going to drop a bombshell to try to like disrupt the Kovalev camp is what they're going to do. Kathy Duba said, you know, we didn't see you in. I wrote this down. Kathy Duba said, we didn't see you in New York. John will be here soon. He's training a fighter. Don't worry about it. He'll see you June 17th. And then Virgil Hunter, he says, we will reveal some bombshells later, or later on down the road. We get accurate information. You know, being in the business as long as we've been in it, you know, we get a lot of accurate information. So basically, you know, we're gonna drop some dirt on your camp later on down the road, okay? Then he went on, he said, you can't drink year in and year out. You know, that's why Kovalev is going downhill. You can't drink vodka. You cannot drink vodka year in and year out and expect to come in and not gas out. Basically, he's saying Kovalev gassed out, you know, because, you know, he drinks vodka. And I thought that was like the most like racist thing to say because, okay, I mean, isn't that the biggest like stereotypical comment in the world you can make? You know, I mean, think about this, okay? He's insinuating if you're white and you're Russian, then you must drink vodka, and that's the problem to your life. I mean, what a fucking just terrible thing to say, right? I mean, and then, you know, you have these people out there. I would, you know, basically I would compare that to Kovalev when he made the comments about Adonis Stevenson when he said, you know, something about the bananas. Remember that? How he had a picture, he had I think he had like a t-shirt made with Stevenson on it and he was eating a banana, right? But again, Kovalev in Russia, they think that that's their kind of humor. That's not being racist. That's just humor to them, okay? But, you know, Americans are so politically correct that that's racist. And, you know, and that's, I'm not debating it one way or the other, but what I am saying, you know, for an just an absolute fact, okay, is the comment that Virgil Hunter made about, you know, if you're a white Russian man, then you're some kind of alcoholic, you know, some kind of vodka drinking alcoholic. I mean, that's like white people can't dance, you know, Asian people can't drive, right? You know, black people like watermelon and Kool-Aid. I mean, it's that's what it is. I mean, what he just said about this white Russian man, you know, you're an alcoholic or vodka drinking alcoholic Russian white man. I mean, it's no different than any other stereotype I just mentioned. So where is the outcry for the racism? Where, you know, I mean, could you imagine if Kovalev got up there and said something like that? Okay, so look, you know, there's no double standard when it comes to racism. It's racism. There isn't a double standard. You know, you can't, you know, it's not okay for black people to say this and white people to say that. It's just, none of it's okay. But my problem I have with it is you have a whole room full of reporters, like, you know, you got the Deontay boxing, the egos, I said they're all sitting right there in front of this guy. They're not going to report on that. And in fact, they find it hilarious. If you go watch their videos, you know, it's just pure entertainment, right? I mean, these guys just thinks it's funny, you know. So, but again, if that was a white Kovalev up there saying something like that, I mean, oh my God, like he would just be labeled the biggest racist on God's green earth, okay? You know, so I was really offended. As a white man, I was very, you know, offended by that comment, okay? And then, you know, because I'm a fan, I don't know how to score a fight. Well, you know what? I got news for Virgil Hunter. I could probably score a fight better than him, okay? Because I'm not, you know, my mind isn't clouded or biased or delusional or old and timid, okay? You know, and I have scored many fights in the amateurs, okay? So, you know, I'm 100% aware of how to score a fight. And then he's like, you know, oh, you got to trust the judges. Like, there's no such thing. You know, these are professionals. There's no such thing as, you know, bad judging in boxing. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, are you so basically he's saying there's never been a robbery, and you know, you're just an idiot fan and you need to trust what the judges say. And they said Andre Ward won, so he won. Okay, but I'm starting to think, okay, what about Timothy Bradley, Manny Pacquiao, right? You know, I mean, what about Oscar De La Hoya and Felix Strum? I mean, you think about the Oscar De La Hoya Felix Strum fight. Okay, Strum, he was from Germany, right? And of course, the judges favored the American boxer, Oscar De La Hoya. You know, Shannon Briggs, George Foreman, right? You know, Briggs won, Foreman lost. I mean, you know, I could go on and on and on, you know. Lennox Lewis and Holyfield, right? 8 months later, Lewis defended that loss, okay? Pernell Whitaker and Chavez. I mean, that was a draw. We all know Chavez Sr. lost that fight, and Pernell Whitaker got robbed. Or what about Roy Jones in the Olympics, okay? When he fought Park Si-yeon or whatever, the Chinese dude, right? The biggest robbery in Olympic history against Roy Jones Jr. I mean, you know, again, I could go on and on and on. Paul Williams and Irazlandi Lara. Okay, Lara lost, Paul Williams won. We all know Lara won that fight, okay? I mean, it's just James Toney and Tiberia, right? We know that James Toney was given a gift decision. So again, I could give you hundreds of examples. I mean, just example after example. You can Google it. Simply Google it. Boxing judges and referees removed after suspicious results, okay? You know, or what about the kid in the Olympics that just got robbed? I mean, does anyone out there remember that? Remember Conlon? You know, he was clearly robbed in the Olympics, and then Bob Arum signed him to Top Rank. So, you know, I mean, I could give you literally thousands of examples of bad judging and terrible decisions by judges. I mean, off the top of, you know, what about Mauricio Herrera? You know, or Lamont Peterson. I believe Lamont Peterson was robbed against Danny Garcia. You know, again, I could just give you hundreds of examples, okay? But I think the most fitting example would be Oscar De La Hoya and Felix Strum, because Strum was from Germany, and the judges, like, favored the American fighter, Oscar De La Hoya. So, you know, see, again, you know, these guys act like they're so educated and they know boxing, but here I am, this little YouTube channel, and I could completely rip his argument apart, just shred it apart, you know, just piece by piece by piece by piece, right? I mean, so these guys aren't as smart as they want you to think that they are, right? Or they want you to believe that they are. You know, they're really not. I mean, just because they're coaches and just because they've got money, it doesn't mean they know everything, because I guarantee you these little bullshit YouTube channels like mine, we know as much, if not more, than these guys, okay? Because, you know, look, I've been a boxing coach. I am a boxer. I've been around boxing 20 years, you know? I probably have just as much knowledge, if not more, than this guy right here. So when he can sit here and tells me that, you know, if the judges had or have Andre Ward winning, you know, I just need to just lay down and accept that. I mean, that's bullshit. And then to follow that up with these racist comments against, you know, white men, you know, white Russian men, I mean, it's a disgrace. It really is. And it's a double standard, because, like I said, if a white man would have been standing there saying that, I mean, shit would have hit the fan, okay? Then you have Prince, okay? Andre Ward's what is he, his promoter? I don't even know, whatever he is. I mean, he plays different roles, okay? James Prince or whatever. Prince. He came out, you know, talking all this gangster shit, you know, and apparently he's from like H-Town. He's from Houston, where I'm from. And you know, he comes out talking all this gangster shit, like, you know, let's keep it civil, you know, basically saying if Kovalev touches Andre Ward, you know, they're going to get all gangster on him, you know. But again, these guys need to realize, you know, Kovalev has like the Russian mafia back in his ass. You know, I mean, it makes these little gangsters look like children, okay? I mean, so these guys are just so completely delusional, and I'm really offended by what he said, okay? And to end the video, I want to end it on this. You know, look, boxing, man, look, boxing is a democracy, not a dictatorship, okay? And you should not feel bad, you know, if you truly believe in your heart that someone was robbed or, you know, you scored it a certain way, then, you know, stick to your guns because, you know, that's what you should do. And it's so, and if you want to support a Russian boxer over an American boxer, that's okay too, especially in this situation because, you know, the guy that I choose to support and stand behind is whoever has the most integrity, okay? Whoever I believe is like the best role model for boxing, you know, and in this case, I believe it is Sergey Kovalev. You know, I think he is a boxer at heart, and I think, you know, he's just all about boxing. I really do, and I think, you know, and this proves it right here. You know, when you have a man like this standing there basically demanding that you respect him and you believe everything he tells you, and if a judge, you know, scores it one way, you're just supposed to go, okay, all right, okay, you're the judge, I'm just an idiot boxing fan. I mean, when you hear shit like that, it should be a red flag. You know, you should there should be like an alarm that goes off in your head when you hear things like that. So, man, when I watched this video, it got me hot. It really did. I was like, this motherfucker got some nerve up here, you know. And then again, and to know that all those little YouTube guys are in the audience right now just eating this shit up, you know, just loving it. I mean, it's already all over all their channels, you know. Virgil Hunter calls Sergey Kovalev, you know, a Russian vodka drinking alcoholic, LOL, ha ha ha, LMAFO. You know, it's real funny, real funny. But when Kovalev made a comment about a banana, oh my God, how dare you? You're such a racist. Oh, you know, he needs to be, you know, shipped back to Russia. Oh my God, white people are awful. You know, it's just, it's a double standard, and I'm just sick of it. So there you go, man. Take what you want from my video today. I'm just telling you the truth. As I always mention, I'm not some racist dude. I'm really not. And if you knew me, you would know that. And I'm not going to defend it one way or the other because, you know, when people really aren't racist, they don't feel the need to defend it. So, but what I don't like is I don't like people like him that are up there stereotyping other people, and I don't like the double standard.